Hey guys, it's Dwayne Huff, Band Leadership Seminars, Band Leadership Online, and it is Monday morning, and I know many of you are starting band camp this week. I know that because I'm in Burley, Idaho, about to go speak at a band camp for Burley High School and a couple other schools that are going to be joining us. I'm really looking forward to that. What I really like about it is I'm out first thing in the morning here, and where I'm from in South Louisiana, it is probably 88 degrees or better and 90% humidity or better, and it's probably miserable down there. But right now in Burley, it is 59 degrees, it is dry, and it is cool, and I'm absolutely loving it as I'm having my coffee. So I hope that you guys are off to a great start, and you're probably watching the replay on this. But there's three things that I wanted to share with you that if you will do them starting right now as you're starting your marching band season. Hey, David Mouton, good to see you, man. As you do this, as you start your marching band season, it will make all the difference in keeping your momentum, your excitement, your enthusiasm, your passion, and your dedication and commitment up. And there are three really simple things, and I'm going to share them with you. And this is not just for the student leaders, this is for band directors alike, but it's the same three things. And if you put these things in place starting right now, and you'll be consistent with them, you'll take your game to a whole nother place this marching band season. So here they are. Number one, right now, while you're fired up, while you're enthusiastic, while you're excited, while you just came off of a drum major camp or a student leadership camp, or you just came out of summer as a band director, I want you to write down the things that you're most passionate, most excited, most focused on, and you want to accomplish this year during your marching band season. And I want you to be very specific about the things that really fire you up right now and that have you excited and passionate about doing this. And get clear on those things, because as you well know, even if it's not by the end of this by the end of band camp, there's a chance that between, if you're a band director, your students, or if you're a student leader, your peers are going to absolutely suck the life out of you in this week. You know they do it, right? But if you can come back every day to those things that you wrote down on that piece of paper to remind yourself about why you're doing this, why you're passionate about it, what's driving you, why you got involved in this in the first place, it'll keep your spirit renewed, it'll keep your heart pure, and you'll be able to serve at a higher level, whether you're a leader or a band director. So write those things down. Come to them every day. And they may change throughout the marching band season. That's okay. If there's certain things that stop inspiring you, or certain things that you no longer want from the marching experience, but you replace them with other things that come to mind and come to your heart, write those down. Keep this a living, breathing document that changes, but the most important thing is it's there to motivate you, inspire you, and to keep you going when things get tough. I remember whenever I was at drum major camp, and David Mouton, who's watching this, will remember this as well. Johnny Johnson. In fact, I can't believe David's watching this, because here's a story I'm going to tell about David. He and I were roommates at our drum major camp. Give me a thumbs up, David, if you remember that, brother, if he's still watching. And we were, I don't know, just one of our lunch breaks, we were goofing off or something, and we realized we were late to a marching session that we were doing with the guy who was leading it, and we were hauling it across campus trying to get there. And I don't know if David remembers this, but we both came around the corner at the same time, and the guy by the name of Johnny Johnson, who was leading it, I stopped. I was mortified. I was like, I am so sorry, I'm late, please forgive me. He looks at me and he says, I don't want to hear your excuses. And I'm like, but man, I didn't mean to be. He said, I don't want to hear your excuses. I said, come on, Johnny. He says, get in line. I don't want to hear your excuses. And it was at that moment in time that I learned that if you're going to make an excuse, any excuse will do. And what he was trying to teach me was, Dwayne, if you're late, if you made a mistake, correct it, get back in line. I don't want to hear your excuses, neither does anybody else, because we're not buying it. And it was one of the toughest lessons I had to learn as a leader. But I had a great time that year with David Mouton as my roommate, and we learned how to be drum majors together. So thank you for being here. The second thing I want to say is this. You're absolutely going to need the inspiration, the encouragement, the bond, the relationship in the team that is your leadership team, whether you are a student leader or whether you are a band director. So make sure, if you haven't already, to spend some time together, talking, working through things, casting the vision, making sure you're connected, making sure you're on the same page, and lifting each other up. Guys, the worst thing you can do as a leadership team is not have each other's back, or to be inconsistent, or to backbite, or to talk about each other, or to get disgruntled with each other in front of everybody else. You have to be a solid team. You have to be a solid family, and you have to put that on and set that example for the rest of the band. And here's where it's most important. The reason it's most important is because when you guys get discouraged, when you want to quit, you want to give up, whenever your attitude is negative, when you're not feeling it, when you don't want to show up, it's your responsibility to get each other up, right? So if there's discord, if there's misunderstanding, if there's a break in the team, if there's two people who aren't getting along or three people who aren't getting along, you need to hash that out, which means approaching each other humbly and respectfully, mending those fences and moving forward together. Guys, I'm going to tell you, and I learned this last week when I was at a band camp doing a live seminar. A girl spoke up and she said, I went to an ROTC camp with a group of friends, and we went, and there was a group of other people in another dorm, and there started to be discord, and there was rumors flying and gossip, and we almost got into it, because we thought they didn't like us for some reason, and they thought we didn't like them, and it almost turned into a fight. She said, but one day we were having a conversation with them, and I decided to humbly approach it and just kind of try to clear the air. She said, fortunately, it worked out, and it just dissolved everything. So guys, if there's discord, if there's any misunderstandings, if there's people not talking to each other on your leadership team, work it out, because you need each other to stay strong throughout the marching band season. And number 3, this is how you keep your attitude up even when things get intense and get hard. It's number 3, but it's in 3 parts. It's this: it's story, it's state, and it's strategy. Here, I'm gonna change hands with my phone. Story, state, and strategy. When your attitude's failing, whenever you're feeling negative, when you don't want to show up. I'll give you an example. Yesterday when I got on the road to make the journey over here to Burley, Idaho, when I woke up in the morning, I was sleep deprived. I didn't want to do it. I thought about changing my flight. I thought about canceling, and that I never do that because I love what I do. And I had to get my attitude back up. So I started pumping a lot of coffee. And that's one. But then there's story, there's state, and there's strategy. And here's what that means to you. If your attitude goes down, if you're negative, if you're not feeling it, if you're exhausted, and this might happen the first day, it might happen at the end of band camp, it might happen mid-semester, it's going to happen at some point. Story, state, and strategy. Here's what you do. The story you're telling yourself. There's something known as the law of substitution that says you cannot entertain 2 thoughts or more simultaneously. I'll prove that to you right now. I want you right now in this moment to think, just follow me here. I want you to think of a purple donkey. Get in your mind, purple donkey. All right? Now I want you to think about a pink elephant. Now I want you to think about a purple donkey. Now I want you to think about a pink elephant. I do this in the live seminars too. Everybody loves it. What I'm trying to prove to you here is if you unless you put those 2 pictures side by side in the same frame, you cannot see those 2 pictures in your mind simultaneously. You have to toggle. You have to stop thinking about one to start thinking about another. And that's story. The story that you're telling yourself in your mind about the situation. I'm tired. I'm negative. I don't want to be here. I want to quit. That's a negative story. You have to replace that with positive. I'm excited. I'm thankful. I want to be here. I'm enthusiastic. This is the most awesome thing possible. Even when you're not feeling it, because when you do that, you hash out the negative, or you squash the negative, and you have that positive vibe that you need. It's not easy. It's simple. It takes practice, and it's not just going to happen with one try. Keep pushing through it. That's your story. Next thing is your state. Change your state. What does that mean? Change how you feel. Here's the easiest way to do that. Think about the music that you love to play when you're not feeling good, but you want to get yourself back up. For me, it's Rage Against the Machine, believe it or not, or Foo Fighters. I absolutely love whatever music it is that gets you fired up, gets you jacked up. Listen to that to change your state, and then start moving your body. To this day, I am 46 years old, and to this day, I'm 30-something years removed from being a drum major. Actually, probably about 25, but I still today, when I want to get my state up, I go find my favorite drum and bugle corps show or the music to that show. And actually it's 1989 Phantom Regiment, which was New World Symphony. I absolutely love it. And I will play that music and I will start conducting. And I don't just conduct, man. I put my whole body into it. I get my energy level up. I'm changing my state. You can do that with music. Here's another way you can do it. Exercise, move your body, do jumping jacks, go for a sprint, go for a run, even if you don't feel like it. Because if you've ever been forced to exercise, like if somebody was chasing you, or like me the other day whenever I had to run across the airport to catch my plane, when you're forced to exercise, when you're forced to move your body, the energy level goes up, and then you'll find yourself feeling a lot better. Now combine those two things with the great music that you love, and then exercising or moving your body, or even do like I do. If you're not a drum major, man, start conducting some music that you absolutely love, put your whole body into it, and all of a sudden your state will your state will change. Third thing is strategy. How are you approaching the situation? How are you approaching the rehearsal? How are you approaching the people in your band? And if that's not working, change your strategy. In other words, if you've been more of a dictator in your leadership style, change that and be more of a servant. Be humble. You shouldn't be a dictator anyway. You should be serving people. If you're having conversations with a certain group of people and it's not working out, back away from it. Come back. Approach it differently. If you find yourself like me when I'm talking to people talking too much, change your strategy. Start listening more. If you're not feeling up to your best game, pull one of your best friends aside or one of your team members aside and have a positive conversation to get your self back up. So just to recap, because I'm going to close this down because you need to get back to your marching band rehearsal, and I hope this serves you. Listen, if you have any questions or you have any comments about this, drop them below the video. Even if you're watching the replay, I answer them all, and I'm here to serve you because I want you to have the best marching band season ever. But here's a recap. Number one, whether you're a band director or a student leader, write down the things that you're absolutely fired up, jazzed about, excited about this marching band season, and keep them in front of you every day because things are going to get challenging. Things are going to get tough. People are going to suck the life and suck the energy out of you, and you need to be able to get back up. Number two, build a strong relationship with your leadership team, whether you're a leader or whether you're a band director, because you're going to need each other and you're going to have each other's back. It's your responsibility not only to lift up and to give the best possible outcome and experience for the rest of your band, but also the rest of your team. And then finally, when you're not feeling, when times get tough, when your attitude wanes, when you're negative, you got to change your story. What are you thinking about it? Change that. You got to change your state, put on some good music, move your body, move around, get yourself back up, and finally you got to change your strategy. How are you approaching it? If you need to approach it a different way, step back, take some time off, but come back fresh by going back to look at what you wrote down. Guys, I hope you have the best marching band season ever. If you have any questions or anything I can serve and help you with, don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to hearing about your success. And remember, you can inspire superior performance. All you got to be willing to do is humble yourself, serve, pay the price, and set the example that everyone needs to see. Have a great day, guys. Have a great week, and have an awesome marching band season.